LLC. And now I'd like to hand over to the speaker, Ms. Visma Tarwar. Over to you, ma'am.
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate this opportunity to discuss some of the trends and some efforts in reducing the clinical trials and post-market studies. Welcome. From the agenda perspective, I wanted to take a moment to introduce myself, introduce some of the changes in the clinical trials, discuss a little bit about registries. What is a registry for those that may not be as familiar? What's important about the registries, and how they're currently used, some examples of how they're currently used, and as well what still needs to be worked out, as this is an evolution in its initial stages. And then we'll have a Q&A session to answer any of the posted questions. So a little bit about myself. I have about 25 years in pioneering in the life sciences, healthcare, and health IT. In the 90s, I worked for CellPro, which is a biotech company in Seattle. We had a combination device that we worked through phase 3 approval successfully. As well, I had the opportunity to work on the protocol for our CEO who had come down with non-Hodgkin's. And so we were able to use the humanitarian exemption to treat him, who is actually still alive and well and doing fantastic. I then proceeded to fund and run a funding portfolio that developed registries, healthcare studies in combination with the local HHS and public health. I continued my work in health IT, jumping deep into the health IT, and in the early 2000s I led software development, software registry, and health information technology rollout on a global level, one of the largest EHR systems available. In 2013, I had the opportunity to be invited to go into the FDA CDRH in their Innovation Center as an entrepreneur in resident. There, I co-led the pre- and post-market striking the right balance, as well as I facilitated the first multi-vendor use of a registry for a post-market study. They use the same protocol. So I'll be talking about these aspects throughout the presentation. There we go. So what are some changes in the clinical trials? So let's take a look at, I'll focus mostly on two of the guidances that have come out and give you a little bit of an overview of them for those who may not be familiar with it, as well as in the end I'll give you my words of wisdom or words of thought. So first of all is the investigational device, the IDE, for early feasibility medical devices and clinical studies, to include the personal human studies. So the early feasibility study is for devices that are basically not completely feature design complete. And the purpose of this is for the designer, the sponsor, to get a little bit more insight on those devices. And these devices are those that really are bringing to the market clinical needs for the patient population. These are devices that are additional bench studies will not, or the clinical non-studies, are really not going to advance the device evolution to really be able to hone down on that device. So these are for those early devices that often get stuck because they cannot get to the more mature stage correctly, or they go down the path and maybe have an incorrect design and they have to go back and redesign. So FDA is trying to get ahead of that by creating this early feasibility study that allows those type of devices to come in and do a very focused, limited studies on, for example, 10 subjects to really hone down on some of those design questions. It also allows them to look at some of the safety questions, as well as the function of the device. And so I'll talk about that a little bit more detail in a moment. The other guidance that came out is the decision for investigation of the IDE exemptions for clinical investigations. And so from an IDE perspective, this is mostly in response to the FDASIA not allowing FDA to disapprove based on some of the criteria of